I'm calling to order the January 6, 2026 meeting of the Southborough Select Board. And the first item on the agenda is public comment, and this is an opportunity for members of the public to speak to an issue that's not listed on the agenda for the meeting. And it's not intended as a back and forth, just an opportunity for people to offer a comment. And we try to keep public comment to 3 minutes or less. So Chief Bontini is here.
This on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I just had a brief statement I typed out and wanted to read based off of, just follow up to some other communication that I had with Mr. Purple on the board. I'd like to take a moment to address a comment that was made during the Select Board meeting December 16th, 2025, in which a statement stated that sprinkler systems protect a building, not the occupants, and that occupants are protected through an effective evacuation plan. While this may have reflected the original intent of the earliest sprinkler systems, modern fire sprinkler systems have evolved significantly and are now recognized as a primary life safety feature. National fire data demonstrates that the death rate in fires with sprinkler systems, equipped with sprinkler systems, is approximately 90% lower than in buildings without them. This statistic reflects overall outcomes and does not depend on whether the system operated as designed or account for other contributing factors in fire-related fatalities. When examining fires in elementary schools specifically, research shows that these incidents most commonly occur during daytime hours when buildings are occupied. Studies have found that school fires frequently originate in bathrooms, locker rooms, and kitchen areas. Leading contributing factors include behavioral issues such as playing with a heat source, misuse of products, unattended equipment, and improperly discarded materials. This data is further detailed in publications by the National Fire Protection Association, including U.S. Experience with Fire Sprinklers by Tucker McGee from 2024, and Structure Fires in Schools by Richard Campbell from 2020. History has shown both locally and nationally that tragic consequences in fires when buildings lack automatic sprinkler protection. Events close to home that us in the fire service tragically remember are the Coconut Grove fire in the 1940s, the Station nightclub fire in 2003, and then more recently, a fatal fire at a Swiss ski resort that we've all seen in the news recently. They all share the similar thread that these incidents would not have occurred, would have been tragically much different with an operating sprinkler system in place. The Southborough Fire Department's Fire Prevention Division takes great pride in ensuring that our schools meet all applicable fire and life safety codes through an inspection program and regular fire drills. We remain committed to safeguarding our schools and all buildings in town through continued inspection, education, and code compliance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else have a public comment?
Are there any in the audience?
No.
No hands.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is liquor license hearing for Lalo's Mexican Kitchen Bar and Grill, 154 Turnpike Road. Sir, you can come up here or you can go there, whichever you prefer. Okay. And if you could read the hearing notice, please.
Sure. Notice is hereby given under Chapter 138 of the Massachusetts General Laws. The Lalo's Restaurant Group Incorporated, DBA Lalo's Kitchen and Bar, has applied for an all-alcohol restaurant license on the premises located at 154 Turnpike Road, Southborough, Mass. Described. It's one floor consisting of 14,496 square feet, 2 entrances and exits. The premises have a dining room with a bar, a dining area with a bar, 2 bathrooms, and a kitchen. Southborough Select Board will hold a public hearing Tuesday, December 16th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Well, this is now January 6th. In the McAuliffe Hearing Room at the Southborough Townhouse, 17 Common Street, virtually through a link located at www.southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. All interested parties are encouraged to view and/or submit comments for the hearing. And Attorney Chris Flood is here on behalf of the applicants.
Hello, Select Board. I'm Christopher Flood. I'm an attorney from Marlborough. I'm representing Lalo's Restaurant Group, and they're seeking a liquor license to operate a new Mexican restaurant at the site of the former, and it was called Ola Restaurant at 154 Turnpike. So I just want to introduce, this is Vanessa Seja and Gerardo Guzman, their husband and wife. They are going to run the restaurant, and as it was described, it's a 1,495 square foot building, premises with 2 entrances, kitchen, and a bar. And they're going to keep the physical structure of the building the same. They're really just going to go in and do some upgrades make it beautiful, and it's going to be called Lalo's Mexican Kitchen and Bar. And they are already familiar with having a liquor license. They own Lalo's Mexican Restaurant in Hudson and Lalo's Mexican Restaurant in Marlborough. So this will be their third location. So they are both owners of a liquor license. They're both tips trained, very familiar with the service of alcohol. All servers that serve alcohol will be tips trained. So they have experience, have never had their licenses revoked or penalties of any kind. So they intend to be good neighbors. Hope it's a nice upscale restaurant that you'll all come and visit. And I'm open to any questions.
Thank you. I mean, I'm very familiar with this location, and I'm glad that you want to open up the new restaurant in this location. So I don't really have any questions for you.
I don't either. Thank you. Thank you for coming to Southborough.
So my office is right next door to you. I'm 132, so I know your space very, very well. And I really hope, I'm glad you're doing this. This town needs more restaurants, so we are fully supportive of what you're trying to do. I'd like for you to take my contact information so I can give you some help as far as how to entice the lunch crowd that's around there in those buildings. We don't have any place to go that's close, so I will try to help you as far as getting started. I know your landlord very well too, and hopefully he'll help you. So I'm really glad you do it. I'm glad that you know what you're doing. You've got two other ones, so I hope that you get off to a great start, and I do hope that we all support you.
I'm excited that you guys are here. I have no questions right now.
Welcome to Southborough, and I wish you the best of luck. I ate it semi-regularly at the previous place, so I like Mexican food.
Thank you very much.
You can see we're a tough audience.
Any comments, questions from the public? Okay, seeing none, I move that we close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor? And I move that the board approve the liquor license application for Lalo's Mexican Kitchen Bar and Grill.
Second?
All those in favor? All right, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
So you had mentioned did we have to do anything for the common victual?
Do you want to take that
Yes,
now?
that's under the consent agenda, so I'll just move that up. And this is consent agenda item D. So I move that the board approve the common victular license for Lalo's Mexican Kitchen and Bar.
Second?
All those in favor? Okay, all right, thank you. Do you know
Good luck.
when you're going to open, or already open, or?
No, they're not open yet.
Okay, yeah.
Get the liquor license as soon as possible, and then we'll make all the magic happen.
Okay, great.
So what do you think, truly, when do you think you'll be open, if everything goes like you want it to?
Well, we're estimating for roughly April.
Good.
Okay.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well.
In the past, the ABCC has been a few months to have their investigators come out and
Yeah.
complete their investigation. Sometimes they want us to update applications, so we're seeing them run in a couple months.
Yeah. We'll get this moving right away.
Thank you, we appreciate that. And do you have a card that you'd like to give us? Will you?
Yeah. So I'm serious about helping you, so call me.
Well, yes, I will. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a
Yes,
great night.
have a good night.
We hope you'll all be happy to come there.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got a little bit of a time gap between the now and the poll hearing, so I think I'll just we can move right to the consent agenda. I don't have any reports. I don't know if there are any members' reports, or you have a report?
I do,
You do?
I do. I've got a good one.
Okay,
You want me to go next?
sure.
So I can very happily report that the Costco lease is fully signed, executed, and legally binding. They've been in town this week with Atlantic, starting to get everything set as far as the construction goes. So, all good news. I also believe Mr. Purple has heard from Costco directly as far as making sure that we are doing what we need to do to get the liquor license,
Correct.
right? So we
Yes.
got to make sure we proceed with that timely, but it's signed.
I will also tell you that I had a conversation today with town council, who is prodded the Attorney General's office on getting our bylaw approved as soon as possible, so that we make sure that's in place, so there is no impediment if they would like to, start the site plan approval process of planning. So we're moving those things along.
Sounds good. Okay, so moving through the consent agenda, I'm gonna hold item E because Carla updated some of the information.
Just the numbers.
Yeah, just the numbers, so I want to make sure we get that correctly, so. We've already taken care of D and E. Are there any holds on A, B, C, or F?
I didn't have time to read the minutes, so I hope somebody did.
I read them and didn't find anything wrong with them. Okay, no holds, so then I move that the board approve consent agenda items A, B, C, and F.
Second.
All those in favor? And for the ARPA reclassification,
Oh, yeah, do you have the old agenda? This one, David Joyner was added.
oh, okay. Consent agenda item G is the reappointment of David Joyner to the Board of Trustees for the Affordable Housing Trust. I move consent agenda item G.
Second.
All those in favor? Those opposed? Okay, so on the reclassification of ARPA funds, I just want to make sure we do the vote correctly, because Carla corrected a number in the memo that was in the packet. So the one which is on our table is the correct memo, right?
Yes, so the numbers that I had in the memo that was in your packet was about 85 cents off, and Ms. McAuliffe does not want to return 85 cents to the federal government,
No?
and so the numbers are now corrected. She is online if you would like to speak with her directly. I don't think it's necessary, but she wanted to make sure this was done properly, so she didn't have to,
All right, let's see if I
do
get
that.
this correctly. I move that the board reduce the upgrades to Peninsula Trail authorization under ARPA funds from $99,340.05 to $97,803.81, and to increase the fire equipment authorization under ARPA funds from $30,803.85 to $32,340.09.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. And we still have a little bit of time to go, 2 minutes before this poll hearing, it looks like.
we can do the notice and we can.
Okay, sure. You want to begin the notice?
Sure. Southborough Select Board shall hold a public hearing Tuesday, January 6, 2026, at 6:45 PM in the McAuliffe Hearing Room at Southborough Townhouse, 17 Common Street, Southborough, Mass., to consider a petition by Mass Electric Company, National Grid, to install a joint-owned pole on Lover's Lane. The meeting may also be listened to or viewed by the public through a link located at ma-southborough.civicplus.com/674/virtual-meetings.
Okay, and is there a representative from Grid here?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Jeff Silva, National Grid from Hopedale office. Here to answer any questions you may have.
Well, can you just provide, I've read the memo, and I was a little, there are really two memos. So there's two poles, there's one existing, and you want to put in two poles on Lover's Lane,
We're
right?
putting in one pole,
One pole.
8-50,
Oh, okay,
in between pole 8 and pole 9.
okay.
And that is for infrastructure for the new metering system that we are currently putting in for customers.
You're doing that through the whole town? Throughout the whole town?
We're doing it throughout the whole state.
Okay,
So some poles can be utilized, others have too much equipment on it, so we need to put another pole on for that equipment to be sitting on it.
okay. And we haven't gotten any comments. Butters were notified, and there's no comment.
No,
Okay.
no comments.
I don't have any questions. Does anyone have any questions?
I have one. I don't believe there's any sidewalks on that road now, but if there would be something added in the future, is this in a position that would be affected and would need to be moved, or is it?
It will be in line with the ones that are adjacent to it.
But does that mean that it would have to be moved in the future? Because like if it's in line, but, everything would have to be moved?
Correct.
It'd be one less to move if potentially
Correct.
viable.
Correct.
So we don't know the answer to that, if it would be in the
It-
way or not?
It wouldn't, if one's in the way, they're all in the way, so they'd have to move all of them, which is not that big of work. If you're gonna move 16 of them, 17 is not that, doesn't make that much of a difference.
Okay.
It's also very unlikely, I think Lover's Lane is, given budgetary constraints, that Lover's Lane would be the location of a
New sidewalk?
new sidewalk.
Yeah, just harnessing my inner Mr. Lit from the corner there.
Yeah,
I
that's
know-
right, okay.
I know it's his, and I do agree with him.
Yeah, this is necessary stuff, grid reliability is going to become more and more linked to life safety and to our quality of life, so I'm in favor.
The new meters, you can do a lot. The new stuff is pretty good as far as what you can see that you couldn't see before.
Technology is a wonderful thing until you don't want it.
All right, so no comment from the public here.
No.
I move that we close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor? And I move that we approve the application for the pole placement at Lover's Lane.
Second?
All those in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Same to you. Okay, Brian, I think you are up.
So this is the purpose of tonight, basically. I don't intend on getting too far in the details. I usually say with these first few drafts of the recap or the rev cap, whatever you want to call it, the budget, it's very rough. The ones that were in the packet have changed already. It's not unusual for this time of year to make updates pretty frequently. In the last few days, we had quite a few changes. Not so much to the operating budgets, so if you look at that page, it's fairly close to what we have now, except for the schools. They did give a slight update, unfortunately in the wrong direction. But, so I was kind of hoping tonight we could just recognize that, obviously, in the overall budget, we're probably in the negative right now, but we are in the negative right now. And it's about double what you're seeing right on that page there. There's a lot of reasons for that. Capital,
Say again what you just said?
that, it says, I think, 900, yeah, it's double that
915.
now. It's minus,
Double now?
yeah, it's minus 19, somewhere around there.
With what change?
A lot of capital.
Okay, so you've
Is-
added more capital to
Yeah,
this.
that was a real rough capital estimate before, they met last night, and then, in the last few days, I've been working with Jason and the capital committee to make sure we have everything that's in there, so, so they have.
So that's the only change to this is the revised capital?
No, schools went up too. Schools went up some amounts of money, their estimated budgets. So their general fund capital appropriations this year right now, and this is all in, it's not typical to have a high number at the beginning, is almost 2.8 million. So that's a lot of money for appropriated capital. So obviously, you're meeting with the capital committee next week.
Yep.
And that's going to be a big topic of conversation. And so that's big money to move around. The school committee, they're a little ahead in the K-8 budget. They'll be meeting the middle of January for a K-8 recommended budget. And the regional is behind that. They're going to be meeting next month for a recommended, Algonquin budget. It's the same drivers in their budgets, health insurance benefits, SPED. I don't know if transportation's one this year, but we'll hear more from them, so that could change. So basically, we have the school department big cost driver, big cost center. That may change, capital may change. Revenues, we've looked at once, we'll probably look at again. We're making some assumptions for like local aid that are very conservative and stuff. We do have health insurance changes that, or updates that we'll be making as we go along. This time of year, we usually have estimates, but we'll be getting, more refined quotes as to what we'll renew at for our plans and everything. So that's gonna change, hopefully for the better. So there are some things going in our favor, but we have a lot of work to do. So the other issue is, I know the board requested a exercise for the departments to, show a level of budget based on FY25 actual non-salary amounts. I did have a list there that shows what the final results of that were. Most of the departments have explanations, but that's $500,000 that is over, from FY25 to the FY27 requested. So you can see that list there. So the board certainly has to decide how they want to proceed with that. And the last thing, which is very important, is based on the department's submissions, who would you like to see on Saturday, January 24th? Right now, we have the DPW and the schools, both fire and police. But if that is to be expanded, which is fine, then we just need to decide who else would like to talk to review budgets.
Well, on that point, I would think that library and IT would be good to hear from, because those are, of the over FY25 actual non-salary, I mean, DPW is more than half of it, and the two other largest items are IT and library, and then fire, we're already gonna see them anyway. I don't know how other people feel about it.
Which two do you want, Andrew? You want IT and what?
Library,
So, since DPW is not salary, this big number, what's he proposing?
It's a mix of things. It's like his maintenance grounds contract is up like 50,000. Some of his expense items for like other like contracts and tree contracts and things like that are up. It's kind of a varied mix, to be honest.
and are there, so you mentioned some departments have explanations for. what-
Most have explanations or something, yep.
And can we, are like memos or what?
Everyone's done it a little differently.
Okay.
Some have just written it on their budget, a little
All
blurb
right.
saying.
Well, remember, this is actual 25, fiscal 25,
Correct.
and it's proposed for fiscal year 27, right? So it's 2 years later.
Correct.
So until you get down to possibly personnel board, and I'm sure that's the study that they want, right? It's not bad. The next one's neat. So I'm fine. I agree with Andrew. Maybe ask library and Jay to come in to talk about those two.
I'd actually like to see in the rev cap, the fiscal 25 actuals. The fiscal 25 approved don't mean much, in my opinion. And I'd like to see a column there that shows the percentage of the fiscal 25 actuals versus the fiscal 27 request. So I think,
Add that.
I think that's very useful to begin looking at what we actually spent. When we find ourselves with $3 million worth of free cash, I think we need to dig into that. If we did a good job in 25, Mike, the obvious question is, why do we need so much more in 27, other than obvious inflation?
So I agree with what Al's asking, but I do it a little bit differently. I wouldn't do it, I keep the rev cap the way it is, but then I would do a separate spreadsheet that compares only fiscal year 25 to proposed, actual fiscal year 25 to proposed fiscal year 27. Because if you plop the actual over there is gonna kind of lose, it's gonna be hard to look at it. So do two different
Have it
ones.
separate, sure.
Right, so just do a separate one that compares actual fiscal year '25 to proposed fiscal year '27, and then show the difference.
And then there's something you can circulate to the board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
okay.
Yeah, the other thing is, as you know, maybe some of you know and some of you don't, we do put these on OneDrive at a certain point where they're ready. So I think we're at that point where I can probably, I have the folder there, I just haven't activated it yet, but I think I can activate it, and all of you will get links to see every single actual budget and the rev cap and everything
And
else.
with the explanations, they'd be in OneDrive?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
The library increase, just heads up, it is salaries and benefits, and also programming, which has been cut year over year over year over year, forever, to almost nothing, and professional development, which there is not hardly, it's peanuts at this point. So the board felt that we could ask for that at this point.
So Margie, just to be clear, this number we're seeing here has nothing to do with salaries, so it's everything else there?
Yes.
So it's that plus salaries?
Yep, yep.
Now, talking about training, Brian, you mentioned this in your memo, that training accounts for a little over 36,000 of the 477,000 excess of FY '25 actual non-salary versus FY '27 requested. So can you just speak to that, where you're saying you recommend the board make a blanket decision on these training increases versus a department-by-department decision?
Yeah, so the town administrator and myself were curious what the training piece of that was, compromise that number, because, you know, obviously, continuing development and all that is very important, but we kind of wanted to isolate that out, so it wasn't as much as actually I anticipated.
No, I thought it might be
It
more.
might have been higher than you anticipated. So we didn't really think it would be effective, and I think you may agree, to go department by department and say, well, here's the reason this one needs it, and here's the reason this one doesn't. It's, you know, I think it's more prudent to either support it in whole or not
Or
support
make a
it,
decision that this
Or-
year to
to figure it out.
reduce the budget, we will not support the increases for all departments.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Well, obviously, the first version is always a little scary, but we certainly have a lot of work to do between
Well,
now
let's
and
talk about how bad this really is. So if it's really $1.8 million right now or so, with the all capital in there and the adjusted school budget,
$1.9 million, yeah. Yep.
so if we decide, you know, if we go forward with the special town meeting, and we go forward with asking for, just to throw a number out, $1 million to fund the research needed to try to bring the cost of the various projects forward to another special town meeting, we've got two choices, you know, we borrow money to do the $1 million, or we use free cash. If we use the free cash, this goes up another $1 million.
That's correct.
And we're not, the roof is not in the capital number if we decide to do that. So, you know, I mean, Al, I don't know what you think, but I don't know we're going to overcome a $3 million override no matter what we do. I wish we could.
We can if we choose to,
All right, so all ears,
but
all ears.
I didn't say it would be pleasant.
I do think it'll come down.
Yeah.
But you're right, $3 million.
So we're not going to even have Algonquin's number, February or January 24th. They won't, they'll have a preliminary number, I guess?
Exactly, yes, yes.
So, Andrew, I agree, maybe we all just agree that we're going to add IT and library to this,
yes.
so
Okay.
that they know,
Okay.
give them ample warning.
I mean, I think that's the only really concrete thing that we can do today, is just see who else we want to come in. Anyone else have any questions or comments? I know this is a lot to sink in, it's not
Movie.
fun. And this is a position we have not been in a long time.
It's been a while. it's no consolation that this is happening frequently in the state, but it is.
Oh, it's definitely happening with a lot of towns around us, so we're definitely not on, we're not alone. You know, the state doesn't help this either with, you know, their increase is never anywhere near what your budget increase is, so we continue to have to raise more taxes to offset their lack of contribution, so lots of things.
All right. Anyone have any other questions for Brian? All right. I think that takes care of what's on the regular agenda for this
It does.
meeting. So this has been probably the shortest
Good.
meeting.
Good.
That's two.
We're gonna,
Let's keep
we're gonna
moving.
move into executive session, but, yeah, that's probably a record. Okay, I move that the board enter into executive session and not return to open session for the following. One, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining for police and DPW unions exemption 3, and 2, to discuss strategy with respect to union and non-union personnel exemption 3, as the chair has determined that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the town's position. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, then we need to do a roll call vote. Dennington, aye.
Landry, aye.
Cook, aye.
Fling eye.
Hamilton, aye.
All right, thank you.